Reactor, online. Sensors, online. Weapons, online. All systems, nominal.
Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to another patch review. That's right, another patch review for patch 1.4.69 for the 17th of May 2016. So, lots of stuff in this patch to get into because there's a whole shit ton of stuff. So let's just going to get right into this, shall we? So the first big thing, update for MechWarrior Online. There's 153 teams for the tournament to go on. And so far the prize pool is now over 130 grand, which is pretty good. So a lot of people are buying those support packs, which is pretty good. Next thing, obviously being the biggest thing, is the Kodiak. 100 ton, fucking super crazy ass, super powerful Kodiak clan mech. If you have seen the behind the scenes or the previews of it, very, very powerful robot. It has extreme amounts of power. You can put 4 quad 10s on this thing, a whole bunch of SRM6s, streak SRM6s obviously with Artemis. Why not? Whole bunch of energy slots. This thing is insane. It also has the ability, because it's not an Omni mech from how I understand it. It's one of the Origin style mechs, because it's based off of the Atlas chassis. You can't change out the arms or anything like that, but you can swap out the engine. So, for those of you who are thinking it's an Omni mech and you can swap out parts, it is not an Omni mech. Can't swap out the arms. You can only swap out the engine. So remember that, people. You can only swap out the engine. That's the reason why there's 7 variants out there to get, but very dangerous mech nonetheless. So here's all the information on the Kodiak. You got the 1, the 2, the 3, the Spirit Bear, the 4, the 5, and obviously the 1S is the special variant. All their information, all the quirks. As I said, it is not an Omni mech. So you can see here it does have quirks, lots of structural quirks. That's pretty much it. Very, 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 very dangerous. So obviously there's a new games in progress window, which is pretty good. They've updated the commenter tools, which is pretty good. There's some new cockpit items, all related obviously to the Kodiak, the Warhorn, the standing item, the necklace, the Spirit Bear hanging item. So there's the prices for everything. So 750 for the standing item for the claw. It's basically a fist, and claws come out of it. It looks pretty cool. The necklace is a hanging item, kind of like a, well, it's kind of like the necklace, the stained glass and stuff like that. The Warhorn, which I fucking love. I fucking love that Warhorn. And then the Spirit Bear hanging item as well, 750 MC. Here's the 2 badges you get, the Cub and the Grizzly. Now, for those of you who are probably thinking, well, why isn't this the Kodiak? Because the Kodiak, being in Canada, we learn about these things. The Kodiak is actually a subspecies of the Grizzly. So, up here, they're Kodiak bears are basically just small grizzly bears. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. Lots of fixes, obviously. So there's fixes within issues with chat that they're fixing. Let's see here. When you go on Alt-Tab as well, they fix those issues. Lots and lots of fixes with faction play. So, for example, unit rank management is being fixed. There's some issues in there that have been fixed. Planetary reinforcements, the windows have been modified and all that stuff. Yeah, so one of the planets in Kodiak space somehow became independent. Somewhere I guess they fucked up the map and made the planet neutral. And it's a sulfur planet. They added it back to House Kodiak. I think, to be honest with you, they should have made an event out of it. And they should have actually turned around and said, hey, we're going to have an event. You can play as Intersphere or Clan, it doesn't matter. Over the next 24 hours, or over this weekend coming up, whoever wins gets the planet. Whatever group. If everyone else wins, other than Kodiak, it becomes a neutral planet, independence on its own, and it stays neutral for quote unquote this season. If Kodiak wins, Kodiak takes the planet. That would have been kind of funny. And then depending on whose side wins, they get, shit, right? That would have been pretty good. I would have liked that. Fixed an issue where the map would temporarily revert to its original settings every time you exit or quit out of a lobby group, which is pretty good. Faction reputation would disappear on the screen after a match. They fixed that. There's some issues with coffer management, that some things wouldn't show properly. They've fixed all of that. A little bit of issues with texts. Some accessing of the coffer menus, things like that. Little bug tweaks they need to fix for faction play through the buttons on the left-hand side there. All in all, pretty good. They're obviously modifying the artillery strikes, airstrikes, and long tom. So it no longer is going to go directly for a headshot. Now it's going to do a generic amount of damage to a mech. For example, the long tom can deal a maximum of 1,650 damage to a mech, to a maximum of 150 damage per component, which is pretty good. The strike itself, the blast radius is now 300 meters. The artillery strike, now maximum damage it can do is 165 damage to a mech, up to 15 damage per component. Artillery strike has a radius now of 30 meters. Airstrikes. Airstrikes can now do 165 damage or 15 damage per component. So it does the exact same amount as an airstrike, or as an artillery strike. It's just lined up, right? And then obviously airstrike, the bomb radius is 30 meters. So you know how that goes off 3 or 4 different times. To be 100% honest with you, I still prefer, and I still like the artillery strikes because they're more concentrated. Artillery airstrikes in my eyes are only good if you're flanking, and you have that clear flanking airstrike that you can do. It's the only time really in my eyes airstrikes are good, mainly because they're just so stretched out and you usually can only hit 1 or 2 mechs, unless, like I said, you're on a flanking shot. Overall mech fixes. They've fixed some issues with flaring of brightness on machine guns in first person view, which is really good. On the Locust Pirate Bane, if you had a machine gun and you have epilepsy, you can never drive it. They fixed the issues where the archer don't look fucking so rigid anymore. They actually walk properly. They don't look like they're fucking got something stuck up their ass when they're walking. They fixed an issue where the Highlander 2C, the max tonnage, is probably listed now. The Marauder, they fixed an issue where the Hex Warhorns weren't looking up properly. And the Stormcrow, they fixed some geometry on the cockpit monitors, which is pretty good. Lots of mech lab fixes and changes. So there's issues with the warehouse with AMS overload that wouldn't be displayed. Fix that. Fixed an issue where the enhanced narc wouldn't be displayed in the inventory of clan mech. They fixed that. Lots of stuff that they fixed. The main thing here that I know they fixed is this one right here, and the auto refill. They fixed that. Sometimes you get blink, which is more annoying. That's pretty much it. They fixed issues with the arrow for the loadout for the armor, which is pretty good. MechWarrior Academy and fixes. Now here's the big thing. So they've changed the button. They've added, this is the big part here, they've added a repair and rearm beacon. So if we want to go into the conflict area, you can go in there, engage, and depending on how badly you get hurt and all that stuff, you can disengage, rearm yourself, repair yourself, and go back in again. Enemy battle mechs now in the battle zone, they're going to deploy UAVs when they're shot. Enemy mechs are now going to use the proper weapon according to the range you're at. And enemy mechs are now going to also spawn with existing damage. So some of them are going to have damage already to them. Battle zone. Oh, here we go. The number of kills, deaths, and duration of time spent in the battle zone will now appear when a player leaves the battle zone. So basically, the amount of time you're in there, how many times you've died, and all that stuff, that'll show you how many times you've gone in there, how many times you've fought, blown shit up, and played around. Battle zone. Enemy mech ammo and UAVs will be replenished when the player leaves the battle zone, and the mechs will not, though, repair their damage. So you can actually leave, they'll rearm themselves, get more UAVs, but they won't repair the damage. Then you can go back and cause some more damage. In Onslaught, the proper mechs now are going to use their proper weapons. So expect they're going to drop, and you're going to get PPCs fired at you, LRMs fired at you, and they're going to just start peppering you right from the beginning. So you can watch out for that. They fixed issues with alt tabbing. Hopefully that works. We'll see. They fixed some issues with the battle grid, which is pretty good. They've fixed some stuff with the standardization of the faction abbreviation, which is pretty good. They've now changed it so that the lobby screens now take up more of the window space. So that's for faction play and the drop preparation screen, and for the private lobby, which is pretty good. And they're also giving it, because some people were complaining about the size of the downloads recently, they're giving people the option here to download them manually in 2 links. So if you have a limit to your download limit, you can actually download it yourself. And they'll be provided later on this afternoon. Overall, it was a good patch. Lots of bug fixes, lots of changes. My big thing, obviously, is the repair and rearm beacon that's been added to the battle zone. I will be playing that a lot tonight, and I'll be recording it just to see how more fun it is. Mech fixes and changes, obviously. The machine guns are pretty good. The Stormcrow with the geometry in the cockpit with the monitors is pretty good. The Highlander 2 proper changes. The Archer and all that stuff. Overall, very good patch. Not too many big things. Obviously, the Kodiak is the biggie, and next month's patch is obviously going to be the big deal, right? It's the rescaling, the new map, and a whole bunch of other shit. So next month, big time stuff. This month, fixes, tweaks, things like that, and obviously the Kodiak. But until then, see you guys next time on the battlefield. Bye-bye.